Hey, welcome to another monthly studio report for All Is Fair in Dust and Air and Broken Hammer Games. I am the founder and CEO of Broken Hammer Games, and yeah, September was huge. We finally released. We got out of early access. Yay! It was a major accomplishment that we were aiming for actually 2 months ago. We were hoping to get in July, and world events and things happened, and then we just had to push back, but we got it. So, awesome. We finally got it out. We finally have that stigma of early access off of us. That has actually been something we have, well, I guess it's like we've realized it more as we've gone on. That, I mean, people see early access and they go, ooh, unclean. Yeah, it was something that was definitely holding back the development, holding back sales, just trying to deal with that. And I know early access is meant to be a program which is to help devs like us kind of get a game release while we get things finished. And honestly, I would not recommend it for a lot of devs. I mean, if you can avoid early access, just go straight to release. For some, it might be a decent option, but for us, ultimately, in the end, we kind of viewed it as not a great option. And that's mostly thanks to the fly-by-night developers that just they release something on early access, they get a little bit of money, and then they're gone. So yeah, those people, we don't like you. Oh boy. Yeah, we were the whole month of September going into it. We weren't 100% sure how fast we were going to release. We know things were coming real close. We had just like one image that was really kind of a hold up, and we brought Winks in. We actually asked her, can you finish this up? Can you wrap this stuff up, get it done? And she said, yeah. And so she worked on it. She got it back to us within a week. We moved through as fast as we could, get everything else out, got all the announcements done. If you notice on our Steam page, we actually redid the branding, we did all the imagery and such, because we want Gwen to kind of be like the poster girl going forward, so we did change all of that. I've also, if you do read the written blog portion, you're also going to see a little bit of a, well, we're not I kind of like took it from the Steam, so this is sort of like what you view in the back end of Steam, and if you're a dev you kind of get to view these pages, and there's more data. I cannot disclose every single thing, but just because Steam has their own rules, but I can just at least show you where our audience is for All Is Fair in Dust and Air. And if you look at it, probably should have pulled one up here for you, but if you go through it, I'm just going to leave that for the blog. That'll be a special thing for the written blog. You can see where we did most of our audience is the U.S. Next step is Germany, which was really surprising. We did not think we'd have a huge amount out of Germany, but we did. If you count Europe and stuff, I mean, Europe pretty much, there was a good amount of Europe, so, but specifically Germany, I was like, that's awesome to see. I mean, that kind of shows us that we have another audience that we can potentially reach, and maybe we can do a translation down the line. Russia, definitely coming in number 3 right now, but yeah, our plan is to eventually do a Russian translation. Georgie has been adamant about it. He wants to do a Russian translation for his fellow countrymen and such, so we're like, yep, go ahead, Georgie. We approve of new translations for Dust and Air and helping reach other markets. As far as when translations are going to get going, no real timetable right now. It's kind of like starting to get viewable in the near, well, not in the near future, but in the future that's coming up. We can see like, okay, we need to start maybe thinking about translations. So that is something coming. We're going to be probably, I wouldn't expect any news on that anytime soon. Maybe 2022 we might look again at translation stuff. We're going to have to see on that. Now if you have noticed in the new advertising stuff we're doing, the new marketing stuff. There's a new background that's in place. That's the background of mole that we've been teasing, and that was the big holdup. That was what was holding us up as we were waiting to get this done. And we decided, you know what, this looks really good, and we decided, let's go ahead and change the thing so we don't have that ship background. It was getting old. So you decided to throw the mole background there, and it's kind of got a little bit of everything. You got the airship, you got the city, you got something that's... So yeah, it turned out really well. Gwen actually looks really good against it. The other idea we were looking at the time was we were going to be putting William or something in that spot. And Ryan was actually more adamant. He wanted to get William in that spot. And the problem is we don't really... I mean, we have a full character model of William, but it's old. And more anime in look, so it didn't quite match the new updated model. So we would have to kind of have an artist come in and like cut William's head off and put it on the new model or something. We just decided that's a little bit extra to do right now. We're just going to run with Gwen because Gwen's the poster girl, so we want to push Gwen right now. One other big thing that happened this month is we decided, well, at least more closer to decided and finalized a lot of the titles for the story arcs going forward. Now, Gwen's title is for sure set. I mean, we're set on that one. The other titles are kind of advanced working titles, but they're probably not too far off from what they're going to be in the end. And I can just, I mean, we put this in game, but I can just play a video of it for you now on what the new titles are. This is what is in game. So if you play through the game and you finish the story arcs, you finish the cathedral story, this is what plays at the end of it. So I'll just put it on for you now. Hope you enjoyed that. That was a little glimpse of it. So just to go recap, in case you missed it, Guinevere's arc is going to be called A Raven's Prayer. Kali's arc is right now working title Storms of the Lost. Owlie's arc will be When Tigers Lie. Sophia's arc will be Precipice of Demise. Abigail's will be Wings of the Heart, and Nakiri's will be Sands of Reckoning. So that is our story lineup moving forward into the future. It's how things are going to play out. Now, each of those titles has a bit. It kind of describes not only what's happening in the story, but it also links into the poem that's at the beginning of Dust and Air when you load it up when you're going into day one of the Cathedral arc. We have that poem that plays. Now, original design for that, and we had other titles. It was Griffos. He had the idea to to kind of build our titles for each story arc from the poem. Now, his original idea was to pose questions like, must simple dreams die? That was originally one of the story arc titles for a time. That was a working title in the past, and that kind of poses a question that comes in from the poem. Now, when we were looking through it, we were going back and we were considering this, and I was actually doing this this last month and kind of reconsidering, because I wanted to produce something for everybody to see, so at the end of the story you kind of get a glimpse of what's coming. And so I needed some working titles. I needed something better, more concrete, and I was going through all the questions and I was posing things and saying, how can I tie this into the story? What is the story about? How does that work in with the title? And in the end, I kept on having issues with certain things, trying to pose the right question. So what I ended up doing was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to borrow a lot. I'm going to borrow what I can from the poem, and I'm going to work in a new title based on that. So as Raven's Prayer, there's ravens in the poem. There's prayer in the poems talking about that thing, and it flows in with the story. And what is Gwen's prayer? What is her dad's prayer? What is various characters that are part of the Barony's faction? What are they desiring? What is their prayer and such? So that's kind of how that's kind of molding in there. The rest of the stories similar. Now, you want to draw some ideas from that, what the story is about. By all means, go ahead and leave some comments what you think it's about. I'm not going to tell you exactly what everything's about. I might give some more hints on what the other stories are, but other than that, that'll be it.